Baghdad, January 17, 1991. The night sky transforms into a battlefield of fire and fury. Explosions light up the horizon as Iraqi air defenses, once feared, are crushed in mere hours. How did the U.S. achieve such overwhelming dominance so quickly? What factors led to this lightning-fast victory in the opening hours of the Gulf War? In war, the most decisive battles often occur where you least expect them. Historically, commanders have focused on troop movements, supply lines, and ground engagements. But in the Gulf War, the real struggle unfolded in the skies above Iraq and Kuwait. The concept of air superiority, the ability to dominate the airspace over a battlefield, wasn't new. However, the Gulf War elevated it to unprecedented levels, transforming it from a supporting element into the cornerstone of modern warfare. Iraq's military, fresh from its grueling 8-year war with Iran, boasted a formidable ground force of over 1 million troops and thousands of tanks. But this impressive array of land power concealed a critical vulnerability: Iraq's relative weakness in the air. The psychological impact of constant air attacks on Iraqi troops was profound and far-reaching. Soldiers in fortified positions witnessed their defenses systematically dismantled from above, creating a pervasive sense of helplessness. This persistent state of anxiety and fear eroded morale, disrupted command structures, and ultimately contributed to the rapid disintegration of Iraq's combat effectiveness. The Gulf War became a testing ground for innovations in air warfare technology. Precision-guided munitions, stealth aircraft, and advanced electronic warfare capabilities matured in the decades leading up to 1991, reshaping the battlefield in unprecedented ways. As coalition planners prepared for Operation Desert Storm, they envisioned an air campaign that would systematically dismantle Iraq's ability to wage war. This comprehensive approach aimed to paralyze the Iraqi military before a single coalition soldier set foot on the ground, targeting everything from air defenses and command centers to electrical grids and communications networks. The revolutionary nature of the Gulf War's air operations became evident as the campaign unfolded. Traditional notions of air support were replaced by a strategy that placed air power at the center of the entire war effort. The skies over Iraq and Kuwait became a battlefield in their own right, with coalition aircraft striking with unprecedented precision and intensity. This shift in focus reshaped modern combat doctrine, elevating air superiority from a tactical advantage to a strategic imperative. The strategic shift towards air superiority set the stage for a daring gambit. In just 42 days, coalition forces would attempt to dismantle Iraq's formidable military machine using air power alone. Could this ambitious strategy succeed where traditional warfare might falter? The air campaign's execution was a testament to meticulous planning and technological innovation. Precision-guided munitions, stealth technology, and advanced electronic warfare systems played pivotal roles. The campaign unfolded in carefully orchestrated phases, starting with a massive suppression of enemy air defenses operation. Coalition aircraft systematically targeted radar installations, surface-to-air missile sites, and command centers. Skepticism abounded. Critics argued that air power alone couldn't defeat a battle-hardened army of 1 million men. Concerns lingered about potential civilian casualties and the possibility of chemical weapon retaliation. The strategy was untested on this scale, and failure could mean a protracted ground war. Could air power alone defeat an army of over 1 million men? With Iraqi air defenses neutralized, the focus shifted to strategic bombing. Power plants, communications hubs, and military-industrial complexes were methodically destroyed, severing the Iraqi leadership's control over its forces. The operation's scale was staggering, with approximately 1,700 sorties flown in the first 24 hours alone. This intensity persisted throughout the campaign, with aircraft striking around the clock. Key players in this aerial assault included F-15 Eagles establishing air dominance and F-117 Nighthawks conducting precision strikes on high-value targets. B-52 Stratofortresses delivered massive bomb loads, while A-10 Thunderbolt Dassaults provided close air support, earning the nickname Tank Killers for their effectiveness against armored vehicles. As weeks passed, the air campaign's cumulative effect became apparent. Iraqi military effectiveness crumbled under relentless assault. Coalition forces decimated Iraq's military hardware and shattered troop morale. Soldiers found themselves under constant threat from an enemy they couldn't even see, let alone fight. The air campaign's success demonstrated that precisely applied air power could achieve strategic objectives previously thought to require massive ground operations. In just 6 weeks, the U.S. and its allies had achieved total air dominance, setting the stage for a ground offensive that would prove remarkably swift and decisive. The F117 Nighthawk, already a marvel of aerospace engineering, proved its worth in the Gulf War beyond anyone's expectations. Its angular, faceted design and radar-absorbent materials made it nearly invisible to conventional detection systems, allowing it to strike high-value targets with impunity. Initially met with skepticism, the concept of stealth technology quickly silenced its critics as the Gulf War unfolded. The F-117's performance was nothing short of remarkable, with a mission success rate of 80%. It struck key targets with precision, often flying right over Iraqi air defenses undetected. One Iraqi officer famously stated, "We did not know they were there until they struck," encapsulating the Nighthawk's devastating effectiveness. How did this mysterious aircraft with its stealth technology change the face of modern warfare? The strategic value of the F-117 extended far beyond its individual missions. Its ability to penetrate enemy airspace undetected paved the way for other aircraft, creating gaps in air defenses that conventional fighters and bombers could exploit. This synergy between stealth and non-stealth assets multiplied the effectiveness of the entire air campaign, accelerating the collapse of Iraqi military capabilities. The F-117's impact was both tactical and psychological. The knowledge that coalition forces possessed an invisible predator capable of striking anywhere at any time had a profound effect on Iraqi morale. This uncertainty, coupled with the Nighthawk's precision strikes, eroded the Iraqi forces' will to fight and their ability to mount effective defenses. The F-117 Nighthawk's performance in the Gulf War marked a paradigm shift in military aviation. It demonstrated that air superiority could be achieved through technological superiority, not just overwhelming force. The ability to strike critical targets without risking pilots or aircraft changed the calculus of modern warfare, influencing military doctrine and aircraft design for decades to come. The Gulf War proved that stealth technology wasn't just a theoretical concept, but a game-changing tool in the arsenal of modern warfare. As the F-117 Nighthawk reshaped aerial combat, the ground campaign that followed would challenge long-held assumptions about modern warfare and reveal the true impact of overwhelming technological advantage. Before the Gulf War, military strategists anticipated a grueling ground campaign against Iraq's battle-hardened forces, but what happened next shattered all expectations. How did air superiority reshape the battlefield, turning a feared ground war into a swift and decisive victory? The specter of chemical weapons loomed large, and many feared a protracted conflict reminiscent of the Iran-Iraq War. The reality of the ground offensive, however, bore little resemblance to these grim predictions. Coalition forces, bolstered by their dominance of the skies, carved through Iraqi defenses with unprecedented speed and efficiency. The air campaign had degraded Iraq's military capabilities and shattered its will to fight. Iraqi units, subjected to weeks of relentless bombardment, were often eager to surrender at the first sign of coalition ground forces. Air superiority enabled rapid ground advances by neutralizing key threats before they could engage coalition troops. Precision strikes had eliminated command centers, disrupted supply lines, and destroyed vast swathes of Iraqi armor and artillery. This allowed coalition forces to maneuver with freedom and speed unthinkable in previous conflicts, resulting in a ground war that lasted a mere 100 hours. The casualty figures highlighted the overwhelming effectiveness of the air campaign in minimizing ground combat casualties. Coalition forces suffered only around 300 fatalities, many due to friendly fire or accidents, while Iraqi losses were estimated in the thousands. The Battle of 73 Easting exemplified the seamless coordination between air and ground forces. American armored units supported by close air support decimated an Iraqi Republican Guard division in less than an hour, fundamentally altering the dynamics of armored warfare. As coalition forces pushed deeper into Iraq, the true extent of air power's impact became apparent. Entire Iraqi divisions had been rendered combat ineffective before a single coalition tank crossed the border. The ground advance was less a series of pitched battles and more a rapid exploitation of the devastation wrought from above. The controversial Highway of Death incident, where retreating Iraqi forces were devastated